A very good evening to all. I, Rakshit Pabari, Vice Chairman of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, extend a very warm welcome to our speaker of the session, Dr. Chetan Mewada sir, C. Hardik Vyas sir, Chairman of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, and my dear friends. Without a wasting of time, I invite C. Hardik Vyas sir, Chairman of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Rakshit. Dear students, I welcome you all to this second day of knowledge sharing session. Friends, today is very important session. In this lockdown period, emotional quotient plays very important role in everyone's life. For this subject, we have with us Dr. Chetan Mewada sir from Ahmedabad. I am proud student of sir. Sir has taken one session at my GMCS training in 2011, and since then, Sir has been excellent guide for me. I welcome Chetan sir to this webinar. Friends, we are planning at least one session to be delivered every day from this platform for your benefit. We have planned one excellent session on how to prepare for exams, and guess what? Speaker will be the national rankers. We are planning complete 4 days workshop for GST. We are also coming with workshop of Tele ERP 9. Details of the which announced will very soon. I request all of you to take maximum benefit out of these initiatives. I wish you all a very happy learning ahead. Thank you. Over to Rakshit.
Thank you, everyone. Now let us start this journey with a brief introduction of Dr. Chetan Mewada sir. Sir is an associate professor in English department of HJ College of Commerce, Ahmedabad. Sir has a PhD in English from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Sir teaching communication skill and English at undergraduate level for last 20 years. Sir is a working faculty in a GMCS for more than 8 years. Sir worked for the SPIP for IAS training. Sir has worked for more than 6 institutes and presented papers in one international, 9 national, and 13 state level seminars and workshops. Before we move on, I would like to inform you that currently your microphones have been kept on mute. To avoid any disturbances during the session, you are requested to note down your questions, if any, and you are and your question, if any, ask permitted to ask the
Chetan sir, you are requested to take charge of this session.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to all students. Respected Chairman of Rajkot Branch, respected Chairman of WICASA, C. Hardik Vyas. I'm thankful to C. Hardik Vyas and Rakshit and CA, all chartered accountants who are known to me in Rajkot, for giving me this platform and giving opportunity to me to talk to all the students who have been pursuing the professional program. I really appreciate Rajkot branch in general and Chairman of WICASA, CA Hardik Vyas in particular, along with his WICASA team, has taken the initiative to interact with the students, not only about academic aspects, but even the non-academic aspects also. This is the time where many of the students who have been preparing for their final exams either at the IPCC level or at the final level, due to the unavoidable situation, ICI has to postpone your exams for a certain period. Now your exams are likely to be, as per the announcement, going to be started in the first week of June. Now this is the period where nation is locked down, but this is the period where you students are also locked down from certain perspectives. Because it is very difficult for you to concentrate on the examination. The outside environment doesn't encourage you to think too much positively. And at the same time, you are worried about your examination, about your future plans. So there is a confusion, there is a conflict within the psyche. Currently, you have been talking to yourself more than anybody else in this world. And what kind of reactions, what kind of responses you are getting from yourself? We people, you will be surprised to know that who talks to us at a maximum level. Students might be responding that our friends, some might be responding our teachers, some might be of the opinion that we talk to our parents more. But the reality is that throughout the day, only one person talks to us, that is we, that is me, that is I. That means we talk to ourselves more. I am the only person who listens to me, and I am the only person who talks to me. So during this talk, what kind of inputs I am getting, that decides my future action. What type of talks I have been making with myself, that decides my plans, my desire to work. It also affects my ability to work. And that is why when I was talking to Hardik Vyasa about the topic, I clearly made a statement that I want to have a one word in the title, and that word is be able and stable. You can see on your screen, my dear friends, two words have been incorporated, be able and stable, with emotional quotient. Right now, my plan is not to talk anything about emotional quotient. You will understand through our conversation, through my speech, through my examples, that what emotional quotient is. But let us focus on the word be able and stable. See, many of us, there are so many people are able, they believe, but are they really able? Technically, through your mark sheets, through your results, through your certificates, you can prove that you are capable. But important question is, are you able? An equally important question is, are you stable? Nowadays, what industry, what corporate sectors, what job sectors want from you? Not only capability, but your ability. Next stage ahead is stability. And the most important stage is reliability. So from able, be stable. And if you are able as well as stable, very soon you will be accepted as a reliable person. And for that, you need to focus on certain issues. And if you start focusing on them, you will be in a position to understand the situation. Let us try to understand the concept through certain things. That if you see my first slide, it talks about let your emotions work for you, not against you. Now, these are the two words that many of the people talk about mind, and many of the people talk about rationality, but very few people talk about emotionality. And that is why I have started with the first slide, that let your emotions work for you, not against you. That means your emotions, different kind of emotions, emotions of happiness, emotions of joy, depression, emotions of frustration, different kind of emotions. So let your emotions work for you, not against you. Why we need to focus on it? Because many professionals have realized, and this is applicable to all of them equally, to you also, that a young man who graduated yesterday and stopped learning today will become an uneducated tomorrow. Now, you all people are educated people. You all people are young people. You are on the verge of graduation, or many of you would have completed their graduation. But if you believe that, in your case, let us say, if you become a chartered accountant, and if you start believing that you know everything, you have command over so many things in this life, and you are making probably mistake. And that is why I have written this sentence specifically, keeping in mind all the young students. Some of the chartered accountants might be listening me right now, and FCA. You know the word FCA, future chartered accountants. So it's a wonderful combination of young future chartered accountants, some of the practicing chartered accountants, and some of the young buddies who are in foundation, who have been dreaming about their future plans. And if at a very young age certain things are understood properly, you will be in a position to get the idea. Before we go ahead with all the technicalities of the subject, I'm interested in raising certain questions to you. That why a 14-year boy starts shooting in an American school? All of a sudden, a young boy, you must have read in the newspaper, that all of a sudden he enters into the school and starts shooting at school kids, his friends and teachers. Why a 17-year girl commits suicide? Why a 13-year boy starts entering into angry discussion with his teachers? Students preparing for exams like you still feel nervous, even though they have been preparing for the exams over the years. Have you ever thought why it happens? Probably your emotions are not under your control. Nothing wrong in being emotional, but are you in a position to control? No, I'm not talking about the word controlling. I'm talking about the word channelizing your emotions. Emotions are important. Nothing wrong in being emotional. But very important thing is that, are you in a position to channelize them? And if you fail to channelize, number of issues arises. Let us have a simple thing. A wonderful clip you will see that how it happens. A young lady was waiting for her flight in the boarding room of a big airport. As she had to wait for hours, she decided to buy a book to spend her time. She bought a packet of cookies too. She was waiting for the plane. She was in a boarding room. Now she is having a book and a biscuit packet. She sat there and you can see that she sat down on an armchair in the VIP room of the airport. to rest and read in peace, just to kill the time in a productive way. So she was sitting in a VIP lounge on an airport and reading. Beside the armchair where the packet of cookies were kept, a man sat down, opened his magazine, and started reading. Where the lady was reading the book, she kept her cookies biscuits packets next to her. A young man was sitting where the packet of cookies were kept. A man sat down, opened his magazine, and he also started reading. When she ate the first cookie, the man also took one. She felt infuriated but didn't say anything. She was picking up one by one, and from that packet, the young man also picked up one. The lady did not like it, but she did not utter a single word. Such he was observing. She just thought, what a nerve. If in mood, I would have punched his eyes so that he would not forget his daring. How can this man dare to take a one piece of biscuit from my packet? But fine, I would overlook it. I would neglect it. She was waiting. To each cookies she ate, the man ate another one. That was letting her fume up with rage, but she could not react. She was also picking up one cookie. The man was also picking up one cookie from the packet. The anger level of the lady was going up and up. She was controlling herself. She did not want to react. She was controlling. But now things are going beyond the control. When only one cookie remained, she thought, oh, what will this abused man do now? This is the last cookie. Let me see. Does this man have this decency that this cookie should be left out for the woman? Oh, what will this abused man do now? Then the man divided the last cookie through the middle, giving her the other half. The man broke the biscuit, made two halves of it, and gave one half to her. Oh, that was too much. Now the lady could not bear it. It is too much. She was too angry. Then she caught her book, caught her things, headed to the boarding place. She lost her temper that this is not the place where she should sit. This man does not have any manner, does not know how to behave with a woman. And but without entering into any kind of arguments, she left the place. Then she caught her book, collected everything, and reached the boarding place. Now, when she sat down on her seat in the plane, inside her the plane, she looked into her purse to take her eyeglasses. Now she wanted to read the book once again. So to get her spectacles, her eyeglasses. She decided to look into her purse. For her surprise, great surprise, her packet of cookies was there, untouched and closed. Now see the scenario. Her packet was untouched, closed, and she was taken aback. She felt so ashamed. She realized that she was the wrong one. She had forgotten that her cookies were kept in her purse. Her packet was intact. It was there in her purse. She felt so ashamed. She realized the situation. The man, what was the reality? The man divided his cookie with her without feeling infuriated, nervous, or mad. So see the situation. What was the situation? Who was doing what? The man was actually sharing his cookies with that woman. And you can see how it happens and what happens with all of us. While she was very mad, thinking that he was divided her cookies, and there was no more time to explain herself, nor to apologize, because now that man is there in the VIP lounge, and she is now has already boarded in the plane. She realized her mistake. She realized her anger. She wanted to say sorry, but there was no scope. That is why, remember, there are four things that you can't recover: the stone after shot, the word after pronounced, the occasion after lost, and the time after gone. Why did I start with this story? Have you understood, my students? If you have analyzed this story, you would understand that the lady was making a mistake. What was her mistake? That without verifying the facts, she was losing her control. Her emotions were disturbed. She was not having that sense at that time in making judgment. When your emotions are disturbed, when you do not have control over your emotions, you fail to take a right judgment. And you know it very well that in a workplace, in corporate sector, you all people will be occupying very reputed positions. Number of major financial decisions are to be taken by you. And if you people stop thinking from this perspective, the perspective that I'm talking about, you will be in a difficult situation. That is why let us start thinking that why we need to focus on this. Because of the attitude of that lady, it happens. So we always say in almost all sessions that it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that defines your altitude. Now, it is your attitude. Attitude, that means your way of thinking, your way of looking life, and not your aptitude. Aptitude, that means your skills, your hard skills, the knowledge, whatever you study. So it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that defines your altitude. Altitude, that means direction. In which direction you are going, or in which direction you will go, is decided not on the basis of your aptitude. How many marks you have scored is important for getting the entry, but your survival largely depends on your attitude, your skills, your best qualification, your salary. They all are clubbed with your aptitude. And because of that, a boy might get a wonderful life partner, or a girl get a wonderful life partner. But how to live successfully between two people is largely depending not on aptitude, but on your attitude. And that is why it is very necessary for all of us to know about emotional quotient. Now we can understand, students, why I'm talking about emotional quotient at this time. Quotient is a familiar word for some people, but may not be familiar for the whole mass. So we are talking about this, and that is why if you are having this situation, then you should think about your emotional quotient. Have you come across this situation? Let's start thinking. Why should we focus on emotional quotient? Why should we think about emotional intelligence? Why should we talk about channelizing our emotions? The reason is this. If you have relationship problems, when you fail to communicate what you need, when you lose the confidence of your team members, when you are acknowledged as never approachable, it happens with you that you believe that nobody understands me. Everybody believes I am wrong. My parents do not understand me. My friends do not understand me. Even though I am wrong, they always consider me wrong, even though I am right. So that means you have some relationship problems. Why these relationship problems are there? Later. Rage in the workplace, outburst of emotions, or trivial matters, smaller issues. Do you start losing your temper? You become angry. You start shouting. You're not in a position to control your nervous system. That means outburst of emotions. Failure to advance in career, losing track of the actual purpose, wanted to do something, doing something, not happy with the present scenario, doing CA for the satisfaction of others, and that is why you're not enjoying. Your plan was to be a dancer, your plan was to be a singer, your plan was to be a football player, but you're not in a position to fulfill it, and that is why there is a disturbance. Poor decision making capability, and you know decision plays a very important role. Preoccupied with frustrated thoughts. When you are in a position, when you are preoccupied and your mind, your brain, your psyche is having a traffic jam of frustrated thoughts, you're not in a position to take right decision. Or that means if your decisions turn out to be poor so many times, that means you need to think about your emotional quotient. High rate of attrition in your team. Attrition, that means how many people leave you, Leave. People start leaving you, not the job. Think they start moving away from your vision. You have friends, a group is created, and so many people would not like you to be the part of their group. Once you start talking to them, once you start sharing your ideas, because your ideas are not acceptable to them, not from the rationality point of view, but from lack of controlling emotions. So students, focus on your screen. Take this session from different perspective. I always say that soft skills are very important, and emotional quotient is one of the soft skills. Why they are important? Slowly and gradually. Lack of complete delegation, lack of trust leading to micromanaging when it is actually can be avoided. But you are not in a position to manage even smaller issues. That means lack of management. And why there is lack of management? Because your emotions are not managed by you properly. This happens when we neglect to manage our emotions. Before we move ahead, now let us concentrate, let us focus on three important terms: IQ, EQ, and SQ. IQ means your emotional quotient. 1 plus 1, 2, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 16, 32, 32 plus 32, 64, 64 plus 64, 128, 128 plus 128, 256. Oh yes, you are very intelligent because you have been responding, you have been answering so quickly. So your IQ is very high. And many of us from our childhood making all the possible attempts of improving their IQ. They try to be Hoshiyar, but how Hoshiyar you are from emotional point of view? So EQ means emotional quotient. How much intelligent you are from emotions point of view. SQ, your spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient, you have to be in constant connection with the God. And if your SQ is very high, you will be in a position to control your EQ as well as IQ. So let us go ahead. Now these two pictures decides your personality. The head and the heart. Head is connection with your buddhi, with your rationality. And the heart is connected with your emotionality, with feelings. So some part of head and some part of heart clubbed together to develop your personality. In some people, the heart part is active. In some people, the head part, the mind part is active. So what type of personality you will have in your life or you have right now largely depends on these two components. With IQ, you will be higher, and with EQ, you get promotion. Understand the difference between the word. If you are intelligent, your professional success, I'm talking about now. If you are intelligent, if you have scored very high marks in CA final exam, let us say you are one of the rankers in Rajkot or maybe all over India. Your rank is 17, 18, 13, 14. Happy to listen. सुनने में मजा आ रहा होगा आपको कि your rank is like this. But because of that, definitely you will be getting a job because you have scored excellent marks. So your entry in a corporate sector largely depends on IQ, no doubt about it. But what about performance? Once you are in, then you have to perform. Your next promotion depends not on the result of CA final, but it depends on the performance that you have given in a particular organization. And your performance is clubbed with your emotional quotient. Because you have to deal with a number of people, varieties of the customers, clients, issues. And at that time, from your highest boss to your immediate boss, your colleagues, your clients, everyone judges you. And they judge you from so many perspectives. And your promotion of the next stage largely depends on their feedback. The appraisal of an employee depends on the feedback given by all the stakeholders. And they give judgment on the basis of your emotional quotient, how you have behaved with them. So your personality has these two things, thinking part and feeling part, and that makes your emotional quotient. If you try to understand this word from definition point of view, this is the definition. That emotional quotient, this is purely technical. Let us say, to improve your IQ, then we will be focusing on improving your EQ. Emotional quotient is also known as emotional intelligence. So somewhere the word EQ is used and somewhere the word EI, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. Emotional quotient or intelligence means the ability to manage both personal and professional emotions and apply them for career progression. Understand two words. It means your ability to manage both your personal and professional emotions. Are you in a position to create a balance between a personal life and a professional life? Because at personal level, you require different set of emotions. At professional level, you require different set of emotions. And are you in a position to apply them for career progression? Maybe in other terms, at workplace, emotional intelligence defines a set of skills or competencies which provides professionals with a comprehensive tool to define, measure, and develop emotions. If you talk from workplace point of view, it is a set of skills or competencies. When you start working as professionals, you need certain competencies, you need certain skills. And these skills and competencies are closely associated with your emotional intelligence. Thus, emotional intelligence can be defined as the capacity to recognize our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves and managing emotions well in our social interactions. Now, this is the most important concept, or this 4 or 5 lines is the crux of emotional intelligence. Let me repeat. Thus, emotional intelligence can be defined as the capacity to recognize our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves and managing emotions well in our social interaction. Remember, we have to develop the art of recognizing our own emotions and feelings. And we have to develop the art of recognizing emotions of other people also. We need to motivate ourselves. See, the best motivation in the world is the self-motivation. Other people can motivate you, but for a shorter period. But you are the person who can motivate you for a longer period or permanent. So it affects your motivation and managing emotions well in your social relations. So if you try to understand, you will be in a position to get some idea now. I personally believe that your emotions play a very important role in deciding not only your personality, but your happiness, your joy, your dreams, your mental peace. I always say that why do you want to be a chartered accountant? I ask the students, if I ask you the same question, if we have a two-way interaction, I would have asked you this question surely. That why do you want to be a chartered accountant? And many of the students, after talking, I have talked with maybe 1,000 students every year for a period of the last 15-20 years. So when I ask this question, why do you want to be chartered accountants? The immediate reaction is that we want to get name and fame and money. The second question, why do you want to earn money? Their response is, we want to get happiness. And that is why we are interested in getting money. A third question to them, do you really feel happy when you have money? And they get confused. Because now the role of emotional quotient starts. Your money may not help you in getting happiness. This is your emotional intelligence, how you are balancing your emotions, how you are channelizing your emotions. It depends on it. So if we have to understand in a simple terms, we can say emotional intelligence means controlling one's own emotion and respecting emotions of others. Now try to understand these two simple terms. That first, controlling your own emotions, and second, respecting emotions of others. What is the meaning of the word controlling our own emotions and respecting emotions of others? Another perspective, and then I will club both the things, that ask your mind to feel and ask your heart to think. Now, students, you might be confused that what I'm talking, but I'm conscious. My emotional intelligence has been working excellently right now. I'm a very balanced person right now, so don't worry. I'm sure what I'm talking. I say, ask your mind to feel and ask your heart to think. That means when you have to take any decision, your mind should also show some emotions, and your heart should also think. Then and then, you will be in a position to take the right judgment. Because many of the decisions are taken by us in hurry. When only mind starts working, we overlook emotions. And when only emotions start working, we overlook rationality. And that we make mistakes. We don't want to make these mistakes now. We are going to have mixture of our mind, our heart, our rationality and emotionality whenever we have to make any decision. And that is why I said that we need to take a right decision. And for that, when I say control your emotions and respect emotions of others, what does it mean? Suppose being a student, let us say at the age of 19, you come to me with some issue. Sir, I have a problem, and you start weeping, you start crying. Remember, at this time, I will not make fun of you. In fact, I will respect your emotions. I will understand that this boy, this girl, this young student is very young and may not be in a position to control his or her emotions. Let me respect his or her emotions. But let us say the problem that you have been facing, if I am having the same kind of problem, I will not shed tears at all. I will control my emotions. Now understand, the problem is the same, the situation is the same, but I respect your emotions, but I control my emotions. So this is the way you can focus on emotional control. You can focus on emotional intelligence. When any situation arises, respect emotions of others, but control your own emotions. Let us go ahead. So emotional quotient is the distinguishing factor which enables to win the heart of people or to win the situation by argument. See, many of the people try to win people with their arguments, but this is the time where we will try to win heart of the people. And remember, if you win the heart of the people, you will be in a position to dominate that person in relationship for so many years. What emotional intelligence is? Emotional intelligence is, definition point of view, we discuss. But this is the buzzword, this is the word which was popularized by Daniel Goleman. This concept was popularized by Daniel Goleman. According to him, technically, what he believes that emotional intelligence is often described as a set of competencies that individuals use to manage their emotions and relationships. Once again, we have to develop the art. We focus here on managing the relations and managing emotions. Now, when we talk about relations, we are not talking only about relationship between a young boy and a girl. Understand? Relationship with our clients, relationship with our customers. So we are going to get the business after all through relationships also. And if we maintain very good relationship, we are going to get wonderful business. So that means not only your skills of the subject, knowledge of the subject, but your relationship will also help you in getting business. So ultimately, your business is closely associated not only with your IQ, but with your emotional quotient. Now, why? See, this is closely associated with emotional quotient. Let us focus. I'm asking you certain question. Look at the chart and say the color, not the word. When I say yellow, black, I repeat, look at the chart and say the color, not the word. You have to say at home, wherever you are. You are in your room, you are in your bedroom, you are in a drawing room, you are with your parents, wherever you have been observing, reading listening me, just speak. When I say yellow, green, purple, blue, orange, red, purple, once again, orange, once again, green, blue, green. Now see the conflict in the mind. My question, when I was asking you yellow, what you were doing? Are you looking for the word yellow or are you looking for the color? Now this is called your right brain tries to say the color, but your left brain insists on reading the word. So our emotions are like this. It's a different kind of theory, that right brain and left brain, but it is closely associated with your emotional quotient. That is why I talked to you. Otherwise, left brain power and right brain power requires a different kind of discussion, one more session of 90 minutes. But have you understood? When I was asking you to do something, you were doing something. So that means our emotions play a very important. So now the picture is very clear that what is more important, IQ or EQ? The research shows that IQ can help you to be successful to the extent of 20% only in life. The rest of 80% success depends on your EQ. Understand, 20% success depends on your IQ, your marks, your results, your mark sheets, your certificates. And the remaining 80% success depends on your EQ. One survey was conducted, and you'll be surprised to know that this is related with emotional quotient and intelligent quotient. One survey was conducted in Harvard University, and you know Harvard University, one of the best universities all over the world. 95 students were taken for the survey, and they were of the batch of 1940s, when they were students in 1940s. In the middle age, you can say 15-year, 16-year boy, 10th standard, 12th standard boys and girls were there. It was found that the men with the highest test scores in college were not particularly successful compared to their lower scoring peers in terms of salary, productivity, or status in their own field. They also did not have the greatest life satisfaction also, nor high levels of happiness with friends, family, and romantic relationship. Now try to understand, once upon a time who were rankers, they were not successful from the perspective of salary, productivity, status, relationship. Now understand, these are the areas where we are interested in getting success now. And for getting success in these areas, salary, productivity, status, relationship, happiness, all depends on emotional quotient. So that is why, students, I really am not going to request, I'm going to encourage you that start focusing on your emotional quotient, because they will help you. So almost another research, almost 90% of success in leadership is also attributed to EQ. What are the components or competencies? What do we cover in emotional quotient or emotional intelligence? These are the four things, and I have added one more thing. I'm going to discuss it soon. Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Start focusing on them. These are called tips, or these are called skills as far as the emotional quotient is concerned. Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. And I added one more. You will be observing, reading on your screen. These are called components of emotional intelligence. Now, if I try to talk to you in little bit detail if I take little bit time on this slide with your kind permission, my dear students, because this is the thing where you need to focus. Self-awareness, the first thing that you have to concentrate to improve your EQ. What is self-awareness? The ability to recognize and understand your moods, emotions, and drives, as well as their effects on others. Be conscious, be aware. These are my moods, these are my emotions, and they affect in my life, in my professional life, in this way. That once I lose my temper, and the consequence is I lost my wonderful friend. Once I entered into unnecessary debate with my immediate boss, and now I'm not getting the promotion. So that means self-awareness about your moods, about your emotions. Self-regulation, the ability to control or redirect disruptive impulses and moods. We have to develop the art of controlling, regulating. I always say the word regular. Regular, that means you can improve, you can increase, you can decrease. I'm not saying that you have to destroy them. So the ability to control or redirect disruptive impulses and moods. Certain disruptive impulses, unhappy moments, negative thinking, that might affect your personality. Motivation. The third thing, a passion to work for reasons that go beyond money or status. Motivation is something where you don't have to pay anything. But if you are motivated, you will be in a position to achieve so many things. So that is why a passion to work for reasons that go beyond money or status. Empathy. We are going beyond one word. You students are familiar with the word sympathy, but we are focusing on the word empathy. Empathy, that means feeling oneness with another person. Try to understand the feeling of another person, the ability to understand the emotional makeup of other people. Skill in treating people according to their emotional reactions. If somebody is not happy, just remain quiet. Somebody is angry on you, don't react immediately. Now, this is called skills. You need to focus and social skills. Proficiency in managing relationships and building networks. After all, you talk only about internet? No, there is internet of relationship also. One client talks to another client, another person about you, and this is the way the chain, the internet is developed, and you get the business. So an ability to find common group and build a rapport. So focus on 5 components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. How then can one improve emotional intelligence? Sir, you have been talking constantly about emotional intelligence, and now we find something interesting. The question to us, or question to you, is can we improve our emotional intelligence? Yes, you can improve your emotional intelligence. No doubt about it. It can be acquired, it can be practiced, it can be mastered also. For that, first thing, pay attention to self and others' body language. Pay attention to self on yourself. Instead of paying attention all over the world, first you pay attention to you and observe the body language of the people. Whether your statement is liked by other people or not, you can immediately find it out if you observe body language of another people. Listen more, speak less. A very, very important component. Listen more. Develop the art of listening. First you listen, then you speak. Remember, you listen to learn, not to react. You listen to act, not to react. Speak less, because when you listen, you become rich. When you speak, you get exhausted. Whatever things I have, if I speak out, then I'm exhausted. But you have been listening, that means you are becoming richer. So if you wish to be rich, then listen. Get curious, not furious. Always be curious. Don't be furious. Furious, that means lose temper unnecessarily. Watch what you say, especially when frustrated or annoyed. Reframe negative emotions into curiosity. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Instead of saying that, do you see something in this that I must be missing? This is the way the same thing can be interpreted, understood. Elicit pride in others, reason for working together. Develop, connect, pride in others. Try to generate, try to motivate the pride in others. And once the pride of another person is motivated, they will start working with you together. Remember that emotions are contagious. Now, the word contagious, you know it very well recently. That was the corona disease spreads through contact. So, something that spreads is known as contagious. Remember, emotions are also contagious. A dominant person's emotions, negative or positive, always influence others. If I am positive, you will feel positive. If I am negative, you will also feel negative. So that means my emotions, when I'm talking to you, that affects your emotions. Leaders and professionals like you should be careful to show only those emotions which they want to see in others. If I want to get a pleasure, happy face from your side, I must show my happiness face to you. If I want to get positive reactions from you, I must develop the art of giving positive reactions to you. What happens when we manage our emotions? If we manage our emotions, if we start focusing on our emotions quotient, first thing, personal mastery over our life's purpose and intention. You are the master of your life. You are the guru of your life. And you be the master. Why other people be the master? Because you are not in a position to channelize your emotions. And they channelize your emotions, and that is why they become your master. But if you start controlling your emotions, if you start channelizing your emotions, automatically you will be in a position to master your own life's purpose. Empathy for others. Feel oneness with others. Try to understand their emotions. Try to understand their limitations. Try to understand their way of thinking, their culture, their upgradation, and you will be in a position to respond to them immediately accordingly. Personal influence that enable us to advance our purpose. When we start managing our emotions, our influence enable us to advance our purpose. Whatever purpose we have in our life, we will be in a position to influence ourselves. Instead of making an attempt of influencing others, try to influence yourself first. And if you are influenced, then there is no need of anybody in this world for any motivation. Solve issues related to morale at work. Morale, that is spirit, your tendency, your spirit, your temperament to work. And this spirit, this temperament can be acquired through your emotional quotient. And if they are the issues, then they can be solved with emotional quotient. Be more approachable. You should be more approachable. You should be more flexible in your approach. And when you say flexible, that means anyone who is junior to you, younger to you, working with you, should feel that you are accessible, you are approachable. And if you create that kind of environment, people will come to you. And when people approach you, they come with new ideas, they come with new set of skills. And by listening them, we will be in a position to enrich ourselves. Advance in decision making and logical thinking under any amount of pressure. There will be tremendous pressure when you work in a corporate sector. Even in your personal office also, work pressure is always there. Even in relationship also there is a pressure. And this amount of pressure can be under your control if you develop the art of making decisions in advance in a logical way. Be the most wanted colleague anyone would want you to work with. And if your emotions are under your control, if you channelize your emotions, if you talk to other people smiling, automatically everybody would love to work with you. So you will be the most wanted colleague anyone would want to work with. So that is why when you channelize, when you control, when you regulate your emotions, a tenacity to face, a tendency to face and resolve both internal and external conflict. Automatic, a set of internal strength will be created. You will be in a position to resolve both your internal as well as external conflicts. And for internal as well as for external conflict, we need to focus on that. Social expertise that allow us to network and develop relationships that enhance our purpose. You will be expert from social perspective also. So you will not be liked only by your colleagues in a professional world, but you will be loved, liked by your social colleagues also. And when you are clubbed with your society, you will be in a position to enhance one of the purposes of your life. At first, I should be happy, then my family should be happy, and then my society should be happy. This purpose can be acquired through emotional quotient. Personal motivation. I always say that you will be motivated by yourself at the highest way than anybody else in this world. So your emotional quotient will help you. It helps you in building your character and integrity. These are the two important characters, integrity and your character, that enable us to appear genuine and alive. We look genuine is not enough. We must be genuine also. And this genuine characteristic is developed through your emotional quotient. So that is why up if you feel that what is the score, judge it. What is my emotional quotient? What is your emotional quotient? See, there is a way of measuring your emotional quotient. You can decide how much intelligent you are emotionally. You can judge it. There is a test, and this test is conducted on a particular parameters with standard equipments and a set of questions. Right now, I'm not talking about the test, but talking about the range or the score. An average EQ score ranges from 19 to 100. So many of the people have this range, 90 to 100, but with a perfect score measuring 160. The best EQ score, you can say highest, or if you have 160, you will be in a position to control the world in the way you wish. Those who score high on this test should continue to make an effort to understand and emphasize with others. Those with below average EQ scores can increase their emotional intelligence by learning to reduce negative emotions. One of the simplest steps of improving your EQ is focusing on your negative emotions. And when I say focusing, that means reducing them. Reduce negative emotions, increase your positive emotions. Why? Because many of the people have the can-do attitude. For students, can-do is very important. But remember, why emotional quotient is important. Why IQ is important? The world knows. But very few people know why EQ is important. Because those who are strong supporter of IQ, they believe in can do, can do, can do. But those who experience the EQ value, they start thinking about the other part of the sentence. Let us focus. You can do everything. I agree you can do everything, but not all at once. You can do everything. Agreed, sir. You are young people, I do agree with you. If it is important enough for you to do so. You can do everything, but there will be limitations. And you can do everything, but you will need. And for this factor, students, the support, the cooperation of other people is important. So you can do attitude is nothing wrong in it. But now, along with you can do everything, start thinking about the other part, but not at all once, but there will be limitations, but you will need help, all these things. So always stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Tom Robinson has said this, that be committed to your decisions, whatever decisions you take, be committed to it, but stay flexible in your approach. Remember, flexibility is very important. If you are flexible, you will be loved and accepted by. Why noodles all over the world are accepted? One of the reasons is its flexibility nature. It's flexible nature. Very whatever shape you wish to give to noodle, they get that shape. Before I go towards the end, let us take a few words. The enemy of the best is often the good. Remember, Stephen Covey has said, who is the enemy of the best? Nobody else, not the worst, not the bad, only the good. So in the emotional quotient also, if you think that I have reached up to this level, that is good, that you have achieved up to this level. But don't stop there, because it is your enemy now. You have tried to be the best as far as the emotional quotient is concerned. So the enemy of the best is often the, even Aristotle has said, Aristotle, you know, the Greek philosopher, he said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. I will take 2 minutes on this definition, on this quotation. We are what we repeatedly. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. That means if you start working, if you start running, you have been doing it repeatedly. You have done it today, you'll be doing it tomorrow, you did it yesterday. That means you have been repeatedly doing it. And when you do it repeatedly, it becomes your habit. And when it becomes your habit, you don't have to make any extra attempt. It happens. And something without making any extra attempt, it happens. So yeah, that is where you get success. In the same way, excellence is not an act. That today I perform best. No, it doesn't end here. Excellence should be not for once, it should be my habit. And this habit, excellence in my emotional quotient, should be my habit. I should be conscious, I should be alert all the time that yes, I have to focus on my emotional quotient. I want to improve my emotional quotient. I don't want to lose my temper. I don't want to be controlled by the emotions of other people. I do respect emotions of other people. It doesn't mean that other people start controlling my emotions. And if you could control your emotions, you will be in a position to control the whole world. That is why remember why emotional quotient is important. You can buy people's time. I gave you 5,000 rupees, you sit next to me for 5 hours, people are ready to sit. You can buy people's time. You can buy their physical presence at a given place. I will buy tickets for you, yeah. Please come for a movie. So that person will come next to me physically. You can even buy a measured number of muscular motions per hour, but you cannot buy enthusiasm. Your spirit, your khushi, your happiness, your excitement to work. Say, remember, you cannot buy enthusiasm, you cannot buy loyalty, you cannot buy the devotion of their hearts. This you must earn. So the enthusiasm of other people, loyalty of other people, devotion of other people's hearts can be acquired. They must be earned, and for earning them, your emotional quotient is important. You cannot buy all these things through money. And that is why students, future chartered accountants, some of the practicing chartered accountants, you have to work with so many people. And you need loyal people, you need enthusiastic people, you need people who love you. And for that, you need to spend money. No, 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 no. All the time, money cannot buy anything. This you must earn. I have left this sentence incomplete. This you must learn by channelizing your emotions, by controlling your emotions, by respecting their emotions. And that is why love them or lose them. It is employee retention. Wherever you are working, either love them or lose them. Otherwise, there is a problem. So, emotional intelligence is being seen as an excellent medium, understand, to enhance the environment, culture, leadership, and team dynamic within an organization. So, this is something, repeat, emotional intelligence is being seen as an excellent medium to enhance the environment, culture, leadership, and team dynamic within an organization. So with this, I've already shown on my screen the word thank you. Before I end, let me sum up very quickly, and then I'll say thank you to everybody. First of all, let us try to understand that emotional intelligence and emotional quotient, they are synonym to each other. Emotional quotient is an ability to channelize, control your emotions. Emotional intelligence encourages you to respect emotions of other people and controlling your own emotions. If you start developing the emotions, the art of channelizing your emotions, you will be in a position to not control yourself, but your relations, your clients, your customers, and everything. You can improve your emotional quotient by following the steps that I have shown. You can focus on channelizing, controlling, regulating your emotions, and by doing this, you will be loved, liked by other people. So before we go, let us have few tips to make yourselves master in emotional quotient. That first, develop the art, which I always say, I appreciate. Appreciate other people with whom you have been working. So first, I appreciate. Second, I listen. Listen other people carefully with interest. Third, I thank other people. Develop. Fourth, I say sorry to other people. Start developing. I appreciate, I listen, I thank, I say sorry to other people. And if these four things are clubbed together, you will be in a position to improve your emotional quotient. So students, thank you very much for listening me wherever you are. I really appreciate your honesty because I cannot see you. You are at your home. You would have the opportunity even to mute this conversation, but you have been listening me carefully. It indicates your honesty. I appreciate the attempt made by the Rajkot branch in general and WICASA in particular for making this period, lockdown period, not lockdown from the mind point of view for the students of Rajkot CA students. So thank you very much. I'm thankful to CA Hardik Vyas, Chairman of WICASA. I'm thankful to Rakshik for helping me in starting this thing initially. And I'm also thankful to Chairman of Rajkot Branch. I'm also thankful to Vaivat. He was guru for me in the training session. So thank you everyone. And during the last 7-8 years, with my visit to Rajkot branch, I've got a lot of love and respect from the members, branch, staff members, and students. And that is why I take this opportunity, I grab this opportunity to thank them. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful session on emotional quotient and emotional intelligence, a topic very less touched upon but extremely important for us professionals. I will now read out some queries raised by some of the attendees and you may answer the same. One
Okay.
of the query by a student is that as a CA student, how to overcome and deal with failure in academic in examinations point of view. So if you can
Okay.
share some tips on that.
Okay. See, uh, when you start CA in the orientation program, it must be taught to the students that how to enjoy the success is not important. How to accept the failure is very important because it has been observed that many of the students failed 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in their CA final examination. But once they enter into practice or in a profession, they turn out to be highly successful chartered accountants. And their failures, once upon a time, their failures are today considered as tips for success. So that is why don't worry about it. Continue to progress. Start focusing on reading. Even though you make one more attempt, once you get the degree, once you get two letters in front of your name, people don't ask you about your results. They see only your performance.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I
Thank you.
now invite Mr. Jeet Kakkar, Secretary of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, to propose a vote of thanks to you on behalf of all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Raivatsa. Respected dear Chetan Mewada sir, Session Chairman, C. Hardik Vyas sir, Chairman of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, and all the participants and attendees thereof. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, extend a very heartily vote of thanks to Sir. Sir, you blessed us with your presence and took out valuable time of your busy schedule. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to you, sir, for your dedication. Also, I would like to extend a special thanks to you for inspiring us to develop our emotional quotient as well as intelligence. I especially like Sir's speech where he mentioned that we can, we can increase and work upon our emotional quotient so as to be our own guru. Thank you, sir, for that. I heartily appreciate all the attendees for their active participation in this webinar. I also wish to express my gratitude to C. Hardik Vyas sir, Chairman of Rajkot Branch of WICASA, for providing encouragement and support. I am very grateful to sir for giving us an opportunity to organize this event. As no program can be successful with a single person, so I extend my big thanks to our WICASA team for their support and all our volunteers too. Thank you for making this session successful with your contribution.